The city in colonial India. Part 2. Housing and neighborhood. Area per person. Compared to London, Bombay was a crowded city. During 1840s, in London, each person had at an average 155 square yards space. But in case of Bombay, it was just 9.5 square yards, persons per house. In London, in 1872, at an average, 8 persons live in a house. But in case of Bombay, at an average, about 20 persons live in a house. Infrastructure planning. There was no planned growth of Bombay city. The center of the city was Bombay Fort, which was divided based on races into two parts. Indians were lived in native part and Britishers were lived in white part. The European suburb and industrial zone was developed in north of Bombay Fort. Other problems. During mid-1850s, problems such as crisis for housing, water supply shortages became common. Europeans, richer Parsi, Muslim, upper caste traders and industrialists were lived in wide and spacious bungalows. About 70% of working class people lived in chawls of Bombay. Most of the mill workers were lived in Girangaon, which was a mill village. Chawl. Chawl was a multi-storied building in the native part of the city. These were owned by private individuals. Chawl had separate rooms, that is, tenements, but had common toilet. Maximum population of working class lives in one-room tenements. At an average, each room had 4 to 5 members. Because of high rent, workers often share their room. They keep their windows closed because of bad smell coming from gutters, toilets, buffalo stables, etc. Water was scarce, so people quarrel with each other while standing in the line for water. As the homes were small, so activities such as cooking, washing and sleeping was done in the streets and neighborhood. At empty places, people placed shops and akhadas. Sometimes these spaces were used for leisure activities such as magic shows, monkey acts or acrobat arts. Chawls were also helpful in exchanging information about jobs, strikes, riots or demonstrations. Leader. Groups in the mill, neighborhood always had a leader. Many times, the jobber in the mills was the leader. He settled disputes, organized food supplies, arranged informal credit, and informed about the political developments. Depressed classes. It was not easy for depressed classes people. It was not easy for depressed class people to find houses. Hence, they had to stay in shelters made of corrugated sheets, leaves, or bamboo poles. Town planning in Bombay. Town planning in Bombay was based on fear from plague epidemic. The City of Bombay Improvement Trust was established in 1898 for the purpose of clearing the poorer homes which was present in city center. By the year 1918, because of the trust, about 64,000 people lost their homes and only 14,000 were given houses. With the passing of Rent Act, landlords started refusing to present homes on rent, which led to housing crisis.